Hello friends, welcome to another video on my channel. This video is my first one for Town Hall 16, and since the troops are not fully maxed yet, I decided to record videos against Town Hall 17 in friendly challenges until the troops are maxed. As you can see, the Super Witch level is for Town Hall 15 and hasn't been upgraded. In this video, the Super Witch Fireball strategy with the troop launcher siege machine is fully explained, which is more powerful than the previous version of Super Witch that used Siege Barracks. I hope you enjoy the video, and if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments so I can consider them for future videos. We can use the fireball in two ways. The first method is with a warden walk. When there are many defensive buildings, and we can't make the surrounding defensive buildings invisible with 3 invisibility spells to ensure the fireball hits the target building, we must first destroy a few defensive buildings and then use the invisibility spells. The second method is to use the fireball immediately after deploying the warden, before a Tesla pops up, which would divert the fireball. We use this method when there aren't many defensive buildings, and we can make them invisible with 3 invisibility spells so the fireball hits our target building. The maps used for Town Hall 17 are maps that have recently been used in tournaments and are among the best maps. Let's move on to planning the first attack. Let's review a few areas on the map where fireball could be used. For example, if we choose the side of the monolith, not only will it not create a good funnel, but we'll also be forced to deploy the Super Witches either from this side or that side. Since the map is symmetrical, it doesn't matter which side we choose for the Super Witches. Either way, the troops will take heavy damage from these two areas because the Queen will reach these defensive buildings too late. Using the Royal Champion alone isn't a good option, and we can make better use of her. The Queen must reach this section first because we're using her as the tank for the Royal Champion in this strategy, and only afterward will we deploy the Royal Champion. So we'll skip the monolith side. Let's evaluate the Town Hall side. One option is targeting the air defense. After hitting it with the fireball, this area will be destroyed, and we'll deploy the Super Witches from this side. They will move downward like this and take a lot of damage from the Town Hall because they won't have access to it from behind the wall. Another option is targeting the Expo. In this case, just like the previous choice, before we guide the Super Witches into the base, they will already be receiving significant damage from the Town Hall. I should also mention that most air traps are placed around the Town Hall, so the risk of losing the healers is higher compared to other areas on the map. Now it's time to review the option I chose for the fireball. I've selected the air defense in this section as the fireball target. Hitting it will give us the destruction you see in the image and create a good funnel. After deploying the Super Witches, they won't take any damage from the left side, and we won't need to worry about that part of the map. To target the air defense, we'll proceed as follows. First, deploy the warden and healers, and wait for the warden to destroy the wizard tower. Then we'll use the invisibility spells like this, one for these 2 buildings, another for this archer tower, and the last one for the X-bow to ensure the fireball hits the air defense. We don't need to use 2 earthquake spells, one is enough. We'll save the other one to use with the Royal Champion. After the fireball hits and the area is destroyed, we'll wait for the warden to finish off the X-bow to ensure we don't lose him in case the healers switch from him to the Super Witches. We'll use a wall breaker to give the Super Witches access to the ricochet cannon, then deploy the Super Witches. The ice golem will be used in front of the ricochet cannon to tank for the Super Witches, so both they and their summoned big boys take minimal damage. The Queen will be deployed here to prevent the troops from turning right, so they're funneled into the core of the base. After deploying the troop launcher, we'll deploy the King to make the battlefield crowded enough that the monolith doesn't target him. The Royal Champion will be used to clear the monolith side and speed up the movement of the Super Witches into the core. We'll use the remaining earthquake spell to help destroy buildings faster. Also, to make sure the monolith doesn't target the Queen or the Royal Champion, we'll use a skeleton spell to distract it. Since the King's HP was low during the attack, I used his ability early and then used a jump spell here to give the troops access to the outer side of the map.
Stay, don't you go. You make my every cell flow my go. Yeah, that's how you make me feel I'm yours. You bring me up when I hear only radio static. Play me a song on repeat. Right now, you hit me like chemicals. I doubt I'll ever gonna let you go. To come down feels like a bitter antidote. Never let go, never let go. No. Right now, hit me like chemicals. Right now, never gonna let you go. To come down like a bitter antidote. Never let go, never let go. Never let go, never let go. Hey, don't you know, we all need someone to love me, someone to make it feel like home. You make me feel I'm home.
Just like the previous attack, let's analyze where it's best to use the fireball. Let's start from the town hall side. If we use the fireball on the multi-gear tower, this area will be destroyed, but similar to the previous attack, the troops won't have access to the town hall from behind the wall. They'll take this path instead, and in order to funnel the super witches into the base, we must use the queen on this side, which is not recommended at all. By the time the troops reach the town hall, they'll have taken heavy damage from it, and there's always the risk of air bombs around the town hall. The next option is the monolith side, where we could target this inferno tower with the fireball. We'd get the amount of destruction shown in the image. The problem, despite the good funnel, is that if any troop, like the giants from the troop launcher, triggers a skeleton trap and those skeletons pull the troops toward this side, and there's a Tesla too, it may cause the super witches to stray from their intended path. Now we're left with one option, the scattershot side. The building we must target with the fireball is the scattershot so that the fire spitter can also be destroyed, and a strong funnel is created. The advantage this side has over the monolith side is that we don't need to worry about Teslas or skeleton traps causing the troops to split. As a result, we can deploy our troops with peace of mind. So among the available options, the scattershot side creates the best funnel with zero chance of troop diversion. Now it's time to plan the attack. First, we'll drop the warden and healers here and wait for the warden to destroy the mortar and multi-archer tower. Then, we'll use one invisibility spell to hide these two buildings and another for the X-bow, so the fireball hits the scattershot. After that, we'll use two earthquake spells. Before deploying the super witches, we'll wait for the warden to destroy the ricochet cannon. Then we'll use the super witches. The queen will be deployed from this side to prevent them from veering off path. Then we'll use the troop launcher and the king. The reason we're deploying the king here is to help the queen clear these buildings and ensure the super witches head into the base. A skeleton spell will be used to distract the monolith, and the royal champion will be deployed here to help clear this side so the troops push toward the core of the base. The jump spell will be used here to grant access to the core. We'll save the king's earthquake boots ability for the final section of the map.
Won't you say why you're a stranger now? Your eyes escaping mine when I sit you down. Don't you feel like we're holding on onto a fairy tale, but the magic's gone? Been months of buffing the bushes and faking the butterflies. Wake up, yeah, I'm kicking the castle down. Ooh, yeah, I think it's time to talk. Ooh, yeah, I think it's
In this base, we'll review the use of the fireball in 3 areas: the multi-gear tower, the rage tower, and the fire spitter side. Let's start with the multi-gear tower side. If we hit the multi-gear tower with the fireball, this area will be destroyed, and we'll need 1 earthquake spell. After the fireball hits, troops will have to be sent into the base like this, and to make that happen, we'll need to use the Queen and Royal Champion on this side. However, we won't get great value from the fireball here, and we do have a better option. The second option is the Rage Tower side. We could hit the Rage Tower with the fireball, but to do that, we must wait for the Warden to destroy a few defensive buildings first. Then we could send in the troops from behind the fire spitter. This option isn't bad and we would get decent damage, but it takes a lot of time to set up. That increases the risk of a time fail. That leaves us with the third and best option, the fire spitter side. This is the best choice for a few reasons. First, it doesn't take long to set up the fireball, and second, it gives us excellent value. The building I plan to target with the fireball is the air sweeper. When the fireball hits it, it will also destroy the fire spitter, scatter shot, and ricochet cannon, giving us great damage. To begin, we'll deploy the Warden and healers here and wait for the Warden to take down these 3 buildings. After that, we'll use the invisibility spells like this, 1 for these 2 buildings and 1 for these 2, so we can land the fireball on the air sweeper. Then we'll use the earthquake spells to get the destruction shown in the image. The X-bow is locked onto the Warden, so we should wait until the Warden destroys it before deploying the super witches. After that, we'll use a wall breaker to give them access toward the town hall, then deploy the troop launcher. We'll drop the Queen on this side to help clear buildings and push the super witches deeper into the base. The King will be deployed behind the super witches, and the Royal Champion will be used from this side to clear this area and stop any damage coming from here. This will let the troops move directly toward the back side of the base without being distracted by defenses. The jump spell will be placed like this to give access to the defensive buildings behind the wall, and will delay using the Earthquake Boots ability until the King reaches behind this wall. Then we'll use it to open access to the Monolith and Multi-Gear Tower. We'll let the King die so that the Phoenix can trigger air bombs, protecting the healers from damage.
Gave you too much, now I'm swallowed. Now I'm the fool while you're breaking rules. Dangerous path that I follow. Oh, go on, just do what you do.